some breathing exercises, and I want that every one of you should put your heart behind what you are doing, because now on, when you are talking about breathing exercises or when you are talking about meditation, etc., I think we need to put our heart there, our mind there, and when you are practicing, let's do it with all sincerity. Now, when we are talking about pranadharana, the name suggests that pranadharana is, prana is a breath, and dharana means to taking your mind to the breath. So one is breath, second is taking whichever position. Most of you must be sitting on chair or your bed or whatever it is. Keep your hands in this position. I am showing the position. I think everyone can see on the screen if I understand correctly. So I am saying that you can do this practice of keeping your hands on your thighs and taking your mind to the breath. Close your eyes, completely close your eyes. They are relaxed. You are taking your mind away from all of the kinds of thoughts. Your mind will go here and there, it will run around. Bring it back to your breath. Now, as far as breathing is concerned, you can feel the breath that is going inside near the nostrils. Near your nostrils, you will feel the breath that is going in and the breath that is coming out. It's a normal process. We are not adding anything here. Pranadharana means you are taking your mind to the breath, feeling the breath, enjoying that movement that is happening near the nostrils. So when you are focusing on your breath, your mind is away from all other kinds of thoughts. Mind may go here and there, again bring it back, again bring it back. Keep your mind on the breath and remain in this position till I'll request you to come out. Relax, be there, enjoy the breathing, enjoy the breath or the air that is going in and coming out, trying to take away your mind from all other things and relax. Now we will go for the second practice. You can come out of it, come out of pranadharana, and then we are going for a second practice, which is called as Anulom Vilom. Now, the name Anulom Vilom is breathing in by one nostril and breathing out with the other. Now, the position that is shown here, the position that is shown here is this. That means you are breathing in by one nostril. I will show you if you can see me well on the screen. You are breathing in by one nostril, and then by shifting your hand, you will breathe out with the other. I'll simplify so that there is no confusion in your mind what I am talking about. You are breathing in with the left nostril and you are breathing out with the right. Then you are breathing in with the right and breathing out with the left. I'll repeat again the technique. Breathing in with the left nostril, breathing out with the right nostril, then breathing in with the right nostril and breathing out with the left. Can we start? Do 3 breaths like this, and then I'll add something more to this. So let's do it. Keep your thumb on the right nostril. Shifting your hand, breathe out with the other. That means breathe out with the right now. Now breathe in with the right, breathe out with the left. I am repeating again. Breathing in with the left nostril first. Breathe out with the right. And now you breathe in with the right. Breathe out with the left. Now after 3 breaths of practicing this, what are we going to add? Small element is retaining, still breathing out with the other. That is for disciplining the breath. Now what you are going to do is you are going to keep breath inside. So once you breathe in, I'll show you again. Once you breathe in, I'll close both the nostrils. And breathe out with the left. So I'm saying, sorry, breathe out with the right. First, breathe in with the left, close both the nostrils, and then breathe out with the right. Now just one more thing here. It's a very good exercise for keeping the breath inside. It's again practicing for keeping the breath inside. So what happens here is, when I say that you keep the breath inside, how much time is more important. So what you are going to do is I'll count numbers while you are doing this practice. So we'll all do together, but I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4. For example, I'll just show you once. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I'm counting, I'm taking the breath in. So 16 counts, I'm keeping it inside. And 8 counts, I am breathing out. So 1:4:2. I think the mathematics is very simple. 1, if you breathe in 4 times, you have to keep the breath inside, and twice you have to breathe out. Can we all do it? 3 times. You have to try only for 3 breaths. First, breathe in with the left nostril, keeping thumb on the right nostril. Close both the nostrils. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And now breathe out with the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Relax. I know that it will not be possible for everybody to maintain that numbers right now. This is just an experiment that we are doing. Those who know very well, they can follow. But what you need to do is you need to do the breathing in. While breathing in, count the numbers. So we'll do once more and then move to the next practice. So once more is to be done with all what we have talked about. So let's keep the hand on the thumb on the right nostril. Breathe in with the left. So breathing in with the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then keeping it inside by both the nostrils closed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And now breathe out with the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now relax. When I say relax, you have to try and relax completely as far as your body is concerned. Take normal breaths and enjoy. I'm saying that enjoy for the time being. Take normal breaths and you are out of this practice. Now we are going to do the next Kapalbhati. Now, I'm sure that you must have seen the Swami Ramdev talking all the time about Kapalbhati. So what is Kapalbhati is, we have got 2 things in our body. One is the chest and one is abdomen. So what we do is that sometimes we use chest, sometimes we use abdomen, and sometimes we use both for breathing in as well as breathing out. So we are using both. Now here in Kapalbhati, the name suggests that it is a Kapal plus bhati. Kapal is actually your forehead, and bhati means to shine. It gives a shine to your forehead. So it is a symbolic shine. It's not a shine of tubelight or something like that, but it's a symbolic shine that gives to your forehead. So let's look at it, how to do it. Now, this girl sitting here in this particular position, whichever way you are sitting on your chairs, on your bed, on your desk, whatever it is, just keep the hand the way in which that girl has kept. And now you can see first that she has kept the hand on the abdomen. So what is important here is you first breathe in. I am saying that I will breathe in first, keep my chest fixed. That means I will not allow my chest to come down. You are breathing in, keeping the chest fixed, and then giving strokes to the abdomen. How to give? Let us see. First, you can see if I can show it like this. So little bit I'll tilt my laptop so that you can see probably. So I'm saying I'm breathing in, keeping the breathing in full. First, let's understand the technique, why you have to do this. When you keep the chest fixed, chest is fixed, and you are giving strokes to the abdomen. That means lower portion you are giving strokes. What happens is that air is pushed up from your abdomen to your chest. It goes still up and cleans the cavities in your head. So unwanted stuff that is lying will get washed off from there. So this is the Kapalbhati. That is why it is said that it gives symbolic shine to your forehead. Can we all try and do it? So first breathe in, keep your chest fixed, and then you can give strokes to the abdomen. Now the question will be, how many such strokes should be given? How many such strokes should be given? So the strokes can be given anywhere between 25 to 100. Why I am giving this range is 25 is just beginning. You can even start with 10. I am okay in the sense that you can try with 10, but technique again I'll repeat. Keeping the chest fixed, you are giving stroke to the abdomen. So it is a continuous stroke. You are not again in between breathing in. So again, keeping the chest fixed. So you can count these numbers, start with 10, go to 25, and even you can go to 100 later on. So this is what Kapalbhati is. It is symbolic shine to your forehead. Now let's move forward. One more practice, again breathing, fourth practice is called as Bhastrika. These are the typical names which have been given in yogic practices. It is called in English, it is called as bellows breathing. So you must have seen the blacksmith. Blacksmith actually doing with his hand. He does lot of things with his hand so quickly, so fast. Here there are three figures that you can see on the screen. It is called as bellow breathing. So what you do, you are using your chest as well as your abdomen. In the Kapalbhati, what you are doing is you are keeping the chest fixed. In bellow breathing or Bhastrika, what you are going to do is you are going to use your chest as well as your abdomen for breathing in and breathing out. Now again, I'll show you, don't have to worry. This is a bellows breathing is the blacksmith, he uses his bellow for putting up and down. Because of that exercise or the activity that he does, lot of such kind of again unwanted particles in your body will get actually burnt out. So this is the idea of Bhastrika. So you have to start slowly. You can just think about a train. Think about a train. A train starts, it doesn't start at 100. It starts slowly at 10, 20, and then slowly goes on increasing the speed. So we have to look at from that angle and try and do Bhastrika. I will show you once,
Excuse me,
and
sir.
then you can do or replicate. You can try and do. Hello.
Excuse me, sir.
So can we go ahead?
Sir, excuse.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, I'm not able to see you. I'm only able to see the PowerPoint slide. We are not able to see you. How you are doing it actually.
Okay.
So
So
could
I
you
have to
please?
stop screen then. I can sharing. I can stop for a minute and then I can show you how to do it.
Yeah, yeah. Please do that, sir.
Okay.
Can
Okay.
switch.
Okay. I'll do it. I'll do it. Okay. No problem. All right. I will show you all the 4 or 5, 3 exercises that we have done. Can you see me now? Can you see me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm saying that I'll just repeat quickly 4 exercises. First, we have done the Anulom Vilom. First we have done Pranadharana. Pranadharana is just keeping your hands on your thighs and you are closing your eyes, taking your mind to your breath. So I'm keeping my mind on the breath, breathing in and breathing out is going on. You are just observing. You are just observer of your breath. Nothing more than that. Then second practice we did is Anulom Vilom. Anulom Vilom is breathing in by one nostril, breathing by left, breathing out with the right, then breathing in with the right, breathing out with the left. So breathing in and breathing out, you are shifting your this thing. That is the first step that we have seen in Anulom Vilom. Then we talked about keeping the breath inside in proportion of 1:4:2. That means if you inhale for one time, 4 times you have to keep it inside and 2 times you have to keep it out. So I'll show you again. Numbers you can count in your mind. As far as Anulom Vilom is concerned, numbers you can count in your mind. And repeat again. You're breathing in with one nostril. When I say 1:4:2, the proportion can be, if you count 1, 2, 3, 4 for breathing in, you have to 16 counts you have to keep it inside and 8 counts you have to breathe out. That means 1:4:2. That's the proportion. Third practice we have seen is Kapalbhati. In Kapalbhati, as I said, it's a symbolic shine to your forehead. Your upper portion, that means your chest, is fixed. I'll keep my chest fixed. Breathe in, keep the chest fixed. I'm just showing you so that you can do as many as you want. I'm saying start with 10, go to 25, then go to 100 as you increase your numbers. So Kapalbhati is keeping your chest fixed. It is also called as abdominal breathing. It is not a breathing by chest, it's abdominal breathing. So you keep your chest fixed and this is how your chest and abdomen is. Chest is upper portion, abdomen is lower portion. So I am saying that you are giving stroke to the abdomen. That is abdomen, you are giving strokes. So this is how the Kapalbhati is. Then we are talking about Bhastrika. Bhastrika, in Bhastrika, you have to breathe in and breathe out, both active. So again, I'll show you and you can do it. I appreciate that you can see and do it better. So I'm saying, let us do it. Let me do it first and then you can replicate. So I'm saying in Bhastrika, you are using your breathing in and breathing out. Both are active. Both the processes are active. And in this, you are using chest as well as the abdomen. So I'll just start. You can observe, watch. So I'm saying that so breathing in and breathing out, you start, think about a train. How you can think about a train? Just think about train and then start slowly. So start slowly, gradually increase your speed. Can we do it now? Bhastrika, all of you. So let's do it. Bhastrika, breathing in and breathing out. Can we do it? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Can we do it now? Can we do it now?
Yes.
So let's start. Start with breathing in and breathing out. Here the diagram is shown that inhale and exhale in equal proportion. So just start 1, 2, 3, 4. I will not give counts. You can do it for yourself. Breathing in and breathing out, breathing in and breathing out, breathing in and breathing out. Go on increasing your speed. Start slowly. Start slowly and increase your speed. Shall we move to the next? Shall we
Sir,
move to the next?
sir, the last one you told,
Yes.
while exhaling only we have to give the strokes, no?
No, no. In Bhastrika,
Yeah.
you are breathing in and breathing out. That means you are breathing in and as well as breathing out. So both the processes are happening simultaneously. Means once you are breathing in, immediately breathing out, again breathing in, again breathing out, again breathing in, again breathing out. This speed you have to go on increasing. What is important is you have to go on increasing the speed. So breathing in and breathing out, you have to start and then go on increasing your speed.
Right, sir.
Right?
Yeah.
So now we go to next practice, which is called as Brahmari Pranayam. So Brahmari Pranayam, the name itself suggests that Brahmar is a humming bee. You have heard the name of humming bee or you have seen it, humming bee. So this pranayam is named after humming bee. Now how you do it, again you can keep the hands in whichever way you like. You can keep the hands like this, you can keep the hands on your thighs, you can keep comfortably, there is no problem. But you have to breathe in. I'll just show you once again. You can see me, right? Saurabh sir, you can see me?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay, fine, great. So I'm saying that when you are doing this Brahmari Pranayam, what you have to do is you have to either keep hands like this or you can keep it on your thighs. No problem. Right now, the person in the picture is showing his hands or his fingers in the ear. We'll do it later on. Just let's do 3 rounds, 3 counts of breathing in. I will just show you and then you can practice. I'm breathing in full. Again breathe in and again repeat. So I'm saying I'm breathing in. What you have to imagine here is that that humming bee has come in your room. So it will go out of the room. So think about that. You have to think. Sometimes imagination helps a lot. So you have to think in Brahmari Pranayam. Can we all do it? Can we all do it? Breathing in, and you keep your this thing on so that that sound I can hear properly. keep your sound on. Breathe in. Om. Can I hear the sound? Now let's do one more addition to this is that when you are doing Om consists of everything. So when you are doing Om and keeping your hands or keeping your fingers in your ear, you actually get that feeling inside your body. It goes to your heart, it goes to your parts of the body which are inside your body. So think about it. Again, do it once, breathing in full. Can we all repeat? Yes. Yeah, little loudly. Can I hear that sound? Very good. And now when you are keeping your fingers in the ears, you have to feel that sound, actually the vibrations which are going inside. So feel the vibrations. You can practice all these practices when you do it on your own. Okay. So let's move ahead. Next is a very nice quote which is written by somebody. I think it was found in some Tahitian culture. So life is not measured by the breaths that we take, but the moment that we take our breaths away. Now, again, here, when you're connecting the dots, what happens is that when we say that life is not measured by the breaths that we take, but the moment that we take our breaths away, it is said that everyone comes on this earth and his number of breaths are fixed by somebody. Okay. So these number of breaths are fixed. So when you are doing the pranayama, that means prana plus ayam, you are extending the period between inhalation and exhalation. So you are extending the period of or longevity of your life. That is a small meaning of this particular sentence, that life is not measured by the, so quality of the breath is improved, your breathing duration is improved, and in pranayama when you are extending the breath, definitely your longevity of your life will increase. Now the benefits of deep breathing, we have talked about breathing here, and here the meaning of deep breathing is whenever you are breathing in, keeping the breath inside, or when you are deep breathing, when we did the activity standing and then stretching our hands, I said deep breathing. So breathe in. So benefits of deep breathing: detoxifies and releases toxins in the body, releases tension, then relieves pain. Both the things are together. Releases tension so that relieves the pain. Then relaxes the mind and body. Now relaxes means it gives instruction to your mind that you calm down. So that is the instruction given, that you calm down. And then it comes to strengthening your immune system. So your immunity actually is improved to great extent. And then strengthening of your lungs. Now this is again very crucial when we say strengthening of the lungs. Now lung capacity is something that is very crucial. It is said for healthy person, the lungs are used only to the extent of 70%. We would not know, even for anybody who feels that he is a healthy person, his 70% of the lung capacity is used. In people who are suffering from problems like asthma, their lung capacity is used to the extent of only 50%. And there are some people who are having serious kind of a problems. For them, the lung capacity is only 30%. So I am just saying that lung capacity is something which everyone has to think about it, that if it is going to give strength to my lungs or my capacity will increase, more the better. I have seen people with asthma, I have seen people with weaker lungs, they are awake almost full night. I am not joking, but they are awake almost full night. So that is the way in which it happens.